This day 886 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If like Sunset come and share more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please come me directly. It'd be very greatly appreciated. Today we're doing Sima Tuf Kuf Pei Aleph, Sifyud Aleph, Tuf Kuf Pei Beis, Sifyud Ches. Yud Aleph. V'yesh nogim lechol be'erev Hashanah kodem alos Shachar. Those people who eat on Erev Hashanah before dawn, Shum Darchei Mori, because to avoid following the pathways of the non-Jews, not sure which ones. So you know, they used to fast on the eve of their holiday. Maybe Easter, I don't know. Well, I don't know what it's referring to. It's not bad minute because it's not. We shouldn't eat before Los Shachar. Not sure why not. We do it by all fast. The made a Lushman minute in our day when age we haven't heard such a minute. The Mishabur says today the minhag is not to eat, only to drink coffee or tea before going to shul. I really don't know what they're talking about because before Los Shachar they're allowed to eat. Shana Pegbe signs of Fush, Yonas and Misana called Erev Rosh Hashanah. He was fasting entire Erev Rosh Hashanah. Be'emes Emishum Darchei Mori. It's not only the Christians because it's actually I really don't know what we're talking about. Brian B'Chorim Be'er Pesach, and also we have times B'Chorim Be'er Pesach. But that's Shishlo that needs Melu Malcolm Miktas Choili. They're going to be lenient with these fasts in place where a person has even a slight illness. This seems this is because the default minhag, the Shem Miktas Choili is honored that when there's even a slight illness, one doesn't fast. Mr. Burr says that the Shani there writes that if it's because you're not healthy, then you do need hot Torah. Shatzion says that it's part if it's part, it can't find something to be matir neder for him on the spot. Possibly can you make up a shas at chak? Well, the Arukh HaShulchan says you don't need anybody to be matir neder for you. I have to be totally honest here, but I have never fasted the fast of Rosh Hashanah, even the chatzos in my life. I really haven't. Not my cup of tea, so to speak. Yud Beis, anyway, Tachon Be'erev Rosh Hashanah B'Shachris. You don't say Tachon Be'erev Rosh Hashanah B'Shachris. Abi Shenoflein Alpneim B'Shmoros B'Slichos. Even though people obviously say Tachon in when they get up early for Slichos, but Nishal Yom and sometimes the Slichos said during the daytime. Come Shachris ain't no from the Shachris. You don't do the Filas of Paim. Because B'Chol Erev Yontif like every Erev Yontif. Ain't talking Be'erev Rosh Hashanah. They have Sipan Tkios Rishus Chol. They don't blow shofar at the end of davening. On Erev Hashanah in order to interrupt between the optional blowing of Elul and the mandatory blowing of Rosh Hashanah. Mishnah says even when the first day of Rosh Hashanah comes out on Shabbos, also we don't blow on Erev Rosh Hashanah. Avo Beisul Islam was if you want to blow shofar in your house to practice for Rosh Hashanah, that's okay. Mishnah Bura says that the Minhagim says, I think it's Mariel, the Minhagim, that the reason not to blow on Erev Rosh Hashanah is in order to confuse the Satan. According to that, you shouldn't blow at all. The rabbi named Amar Kol says that you're allowed to blow to practice in a closed room. The Arukh HaShulchan obviously does not have to take this into account. And Shalom does say at night you shouldn't blow at all, even for practice. They also use the Torah's Balayla. Not supposed to do something which is arouses at night. And blowing, evidently just blowing for practice, arouses the higher midos, which is okay. It's Kabbalistic. But Amina Glatina Darim Erev Rosh Hashanah, and there's minute to Hator Sedarim on Erev Rosh Hashanah. He says in brackets here, Amina kind of Zifa Shebesturim Ein La'asos. I don't know what the meaning of the Zifa and the Sidurim was. I don't think it's in our Sidurim. Maybe it's matter the Cherem L'Shamayim, which some people have the minhag to do. I don't know exactly what it's referring to. Yud Gimel, Yisrael Medrash. There's the Medrash Vayikra Parasha Lamed, Shalmi, evidently Rosh Hashanah. Adam Sheish L'Din Lo B'Shchorim. The famous Medrash. A person who has normally a judgment in the human court puts on black clothes. He doesn't cut his nails. Because he's terrified how his judgment will come to its conclusion. How we saw animal cane shoes are not like this. And we wear white clothes, and wrap ourselves in white clothes. Magachim, we shave, and cut our nails. The Chavit Rosh Hashanah, Ayin Sham. Based on this, we wash, launder, and we take haircuts Erev Rosh Hashanah. Nogin Bov Erev Rosh Hashanah Mishum Carry. There's custom to go to the mikveh Erev Rosh Hashanah on account of carrying. In other words, to some people obviously every Erev Yom, some people every Erev Shabbos. The Mishnah says you can't play because it's cold. You should pour on yourself 9 kav measures of water, which I think you go to with a shower normally. You should not play until an hour before chatzos. Doesn't say why. Arukh HaShulchan does not make such a distinction. Somebody who has to have marital relations such as the night when his wife goes to the mikveh, or he just came home from a trip. The custom is to go to the mikveh Rosh Hashanah morning. The place where they go to the graveyards of Rosh Hashanah, and they make many supplications, and give tzedakah to poor people there at the cemetery. Sorry, we read that already. It's a good thing to try and look for merits on Erev Rosh Hashanah. In brackets, he says here, you shouldn't say, when you say Gimel Midos Yechidus, you begin from Kel Rachum, you shouldn't say Hashem, Hashem. The reason Misham Maschel Gimel Midos, because the reason the Gimel Midos begin from Kel Rachum. Hashnei Shemos Havaya Cholomar Ba'ad Bash. Matzpatz. Wow. Okay, there's a big chidushim here. You would say that in the Atbash code, where Aleph equals tough and Beis equals shin, etc. Matzpatz, Shechem B'vorim B'sei Pri Yitzchaim Shara Slichos So Perches Ayin Shom. So I assume they mean to say that you give midos when you say mechidus. You don't even have to say with a trup if you don't say with Hashem, and you can substitute Hashem, matzpitz. Okay, never saw it before. Well, then again, a lot of things Rosh Hashanah never saw before. This we do a Rosh Hashanah. Tuf Kuf Bebeis. Say that Tfilos Rosh Hashanah V'Aseres Mei the order of the Tfilos, Rosh Hashanah and the Aseres Mei Tshuva. Aleph Arvis Nichnosim Beis HaKnesses. Arriving going to shul, the Korean Kriyas Shema Kabir B'Chosen, read Shema with the brachos, B'Chosin Ufros, and you end off Ufros, which Ashkenazi with Ufros. V'Omein Pasuk Tiku B'Chodesh Shofar. You see the Pasuk of Tiku B'Chodesh, similar to what you say B'Shomru on Erev Shabbos. Mishmur says it's not a hefsek because like Ula Richta, it's like Erev Shabbos. Yesh Kol Mashem is at a place where they don't say Tiku B'Chodesh. Nowhere I've seen. I guess that would be Minig HaGro, of course. You say Chatzi Kaddish in the Nigun of Yom Naraim, and you daven. But I'm not going to call Rum. The Minig is to people daven loudly. I've only seen that by Ne'ilah, not by the rest of Yom Naraim, but evidently there are people who do this. Even though the Chachamim are not happy about that. Nevertheless, there's a Minig custom that way. Like that. Well, Stephen Bivila Malkam Dvorim Yan feel several things. By the Chasimas Atal Kadosh, Misai Mamel Kadosh. When you not Kadosh, finish Mamel Kadosh, you remember Kel Kadosh, Lo Yachtzov, you say Kel Kadosh, you were not Yotzing, because you should go back to the beginning. Mishatim brings an opinion that the evening of Rosh Hashanah, you don't go back. It's like somebody who didn't mention Yal Diovo on the evening of Rosh Chodesh, they doesn't have to go back because there is, because Emekach Mechodesh Balayla. Mr. Sharatzian was astounded at this, but the thing is that there comes in then Savik Brachas L'Kula, if there is such an opinion. So therefore, that would be a Kula which one could possibly follow. Back to Arukh HaShulchan, B'chein B'birkas HaShiva Chotzei Ma'melech HaMishpat, and Shiva Shoftein finish Ma'melech HaMishpat, and if not, Chayzer go back. Which Lam Leil Simon Kufiyot Ches, like we were previously. But we don't go back. I don't know what you're referring to. Maybe later on it's going to reverse this, but we don't go back. Maybe it's a typo. Maybe it's named Lav Eino Chose. Obviously, we'll have Enoch because we don't go back. From Masim Brigas Ava Zochein L'chaim, we add on in Magen Avram Zochein L'chaim. From L'chaim Alam B'Shva, we say L'chaim with a Shva, a little bit pasal, not L'chaim. Kenavamash L'chaim because L'chaim sounds like L'chaim, not life. Yesh V'chadas V'Tevos Zochein has 11 words. Kinyan Tevos Shepasal Chafetz Achavotz Echbotz Mos Rasha. Like the pasuk in Cheskel, which you mentioned by Nila. Do I desire the death of a wicked person? Which the answer is no. Chamish Meosir says 50 letters. Chamish Sharabina. It's why the 50 gates of wisdom. Ataki Bar Masivim Mikamocha Avarachamim Chule. Yeshbo Shmona Tevos has 8 words. Keneged Pasuk Kibasar Hema. It's called Kibasar Hema. Tell him Ches. Well, Hashem, remember that we are flesh. Modim Masiv Ksov Chaim Tovim. Zachrenu Eno Mer Tovim. And Zachrenu, the first bracha, you don't say Tovim. Chaim Derech Eretz Michil Bakish Lavakadim, because that's proper Derech Eretz. First, that's for a small thing. It's Chaim. Sov Zavakadim, and a big thing, Chaim Tovim. Sim Shalom, throw the book at it, the davening. Sim Sefer Chaim, Bracha Shalom, etc. Yeah, we ask for a lot more. Base Elu Dvarim, Arbat says, these 4 things, Zachrenu Mikamocha, Sov, Sefer, Losku Bagamar, now mentioned the Gemara. The Kabbal's going to name, they're from the time of the Godi. Bavagav shows Hachonas in Bakshi Bakoshos, even though normally you don't make any requests in the first 3 and last 3 brachos. They'll those are the needs of an individual. Also the rabbi, not needs of the masses. It says, just like the Chasimos of Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur are different. We don't say Mekadosh Zor Basmanim. Each one has a custom signature. The Kach Tfilos, so the Tfilos are different, not just the Chasimos of Brachos. And we do mention some form of Zichronos, and some in the first and the last 3 brachos. Zichronos in this respect means Fisham Asher Zochein L'chaim. Is that what you say? Zochein L'chaim, Zochein Yitzur L'chaim B'Rachamim, Nizocher V'Nikosei V'Chulei. Please, Yishman Elisom Meselos Over and Shem Brightus Mechach Me'ashas. That's an interpretation that is obviously from the Shas itself. Gimel V'Yanei Hari Baal Tesis Kasab Be'Perakam the Brachos. The Chayzen has very Lo Amaron. You go back on all these things, Zochreinu, Michamocha, etc. If you didn't say the Kamah Melkosh, just like a Melkosh, Tamar Rosh, Olav, Rosh Astonish. Kem Shluz those good words. It's not Meshkor, Lamak. Why do we go back on Shom? Vimashkosav, the Dasari Pashu. According to that which I wrote, says Arukh HaShulchan, that in Mesechus Sofer it's mentioned, the reads Pashu. They should call Mesechus Sofer, Kamashkosavnu. Because I mentioned Mesechus Sofer. The Dasar was saying Karosh, nevertheless, most sources hold like the Rosh. They don't go back if you miss these things. Came over Rambam. So the Rambam passes on Kaimlan, this is what we hold. The Shulchan A Melchzino, so if you've got them, you don't go back. Because the final analysis, they are not mentioned in the Gemara itself. We don't change by the last bracha Shmoneh for the rest of the year. We don't say El Kamosha B'Chol Hashanah. It's just we say like the rest of the year. But Uminik Ashkenaz L'Shanos L'Sayim Osa Shalom. There is a minute Ashkenaz to actually change. Say also Shalom. But I talk about Rabbi and Gedolim, and many great sources have already been astonished. It's not changed anywhere, and Shah Sakri possibly changed on their own. Rabbi Gedolim Omrim Mavarich. Therefore, many sources, most sources say the same Mavarich. Possession Sabakam Moinim Lomar Osa Shalom. That Osa Shalom. How we find in ancient sources say Osa Shalom. Enakamanasama Bracha. It's not about in the bracha. Ela Osa Shalom Shebesov Shmoneser Besov Kaddish. At the end of Kaddish, in the last Kaddish Shalom or Kaddish Yosam would say Osa Shalom Mov. There you would say Osa Shalom. Because that gives a hint to these days. Nevertheless, we can't rebuke the people who do change to Osa Shalom. Interesting. We don't find the Chasimas HaBracha of Sim Shalom specified anywhere specifically in the Shas. Ela Rambam Posky, only in Rambam later sources. And we find the end of Mesechus Derech Eretz, that they had a Nusach Osa Shalom. Shom Hashem Gadol HaShalom, it says their greatest peace. Shekubachah brachas v'tfilos chaysim b'shalom. All brachas and tefillos we end with shalom. Kriya Shema we end with Ufrosu Kashlomecha. because Kani we envy us same L'chol Shalom. Kol brachas chaysim Shalom, and the all end of all brachas is Shalom. Osa Shalom. Ayin Shalom. As you can't say Nuschasam. So that's such a nusach. So you can't protest anybody who changed those Shalom. It's legit. The Sfardim ain't a Mishayim Nuscha. In any event, the Sfardim don't change Nusach. Hey, Lo Amar Melech HaKadosh. You didn't say Melech HaKadosh. Rashum Mesupak Amar and Lo Amar. Not true. We said, or not close the Rosh. Go back to the beginning. The Mustama Lo Amar Kfir Gil. Lo Amar. We assume they didn't say Kfir Gil because that's what's his habit. The Shabbat says in Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, he did say the same Chen Tein Pachtacha. But his Mesupah can be ended, Melech HaKadosh or not. It's possible to go back because you can't hear when you change the entire Nusach HaBracha. But you start saying Tein Pachtacha, it's not shaykh to say you're going to go according to your habit because the whole flow is changed. It doesn't help to try and say 90 days, right? 90 times. Like you can't say the name of Hashem in the bracha. How are you going to accustom yourself to saying it? Oh, here it is again. But here we'll see that it was actually it's not a typo. They said by Melech HaMishpat, but in fact it clarifies what I was surprised about before, and I really guess we should look and Kuf Yud Ches. Melech HaMishpat Lamar Oshu Mesupach Chayzer. Melech HaMishpat, if you didn't say it or you're not sure to say it, you go back. Akemut Shizel B'Brachas and says the sits in the middle brachas. Me'adayin Loach or Raglav. If you didn't go uproot your legs at the end of Shmarasi Chayzer because Shiva, go back to that bracha. Raglav Chayzer Barosh. If you're ready to uproot your legs, you go back bidding. Mani Raglav. How do we find that moment? Is Ba'alav Simukub Yizayim has been clarified previously. Finus Chasenu, based on our nusach. Shebchoshan Omrim Melech Ohev Tzedakah Mishpat. Since our nusach is to say Melech in the entire year. In Lomar Melech HaMishpat, if you don't say Melech HaMishpat, the Yesh Mishein Choser, some people say you don't go back. Came Shkizkir Melech, since you mentioned Melech. Yesh Choser, some say you go back, since say Melech HaMishpat. Say Kufi Yeches Nizbar B'zeh. I really don't remember this. He said back then that he should go back and daven. Daven the second Shemona say as a Nadava. We almost never do Nadava today. In fact, the Mishnah Berurah says you don't have to go back, and that is the Minhag Olam. Okay, so this Arukh HaShulchan is halach. I don't know anybody who follows Arukh HaShulchan on this. Vav Yimamar Al Kodesh Tok Te Dibun Diskavar Mar Mel Kodesh. So Kol Kodesh quickly said Hamel Kodesh. When the amount of time it says they say Shalom Alecha Rabbi, answers are you don't have to go back. It's actually happened to me this year once. Chen Ba'Melech HaMishpat. Saying Ba'Melech HaMishpat according to Arukh HaShulchan Shita. Mishnah Berurah says this only if you didn't start the next bracha. Because if you start the next bracha, even if it's Tok Te Dibur, it's too late. And I'm not sure how this works. If you didn't know when you said it initially that it said the Session Tshuva, and you mentioned it, remember till afterwards, so you remembered during Tok Te Dibur, so that's good enough. Shabbos Shebein Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, Shabbos Shuva, or Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, Shabbos, or Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, when they themselves go to Shabbos, Yom Brichas Magin Avos, you say in the bracha of Magin Avos, HaMelech HaKadosh. Ach b'zeh Omar Kel Kadosh Yotze Ben this, he said Kel Kadosh in Magin Avos, you're Yotze. Chaytim B'Shel Shabbos Levat, and that bracha, Mein Sheva, you only finish with Shabbos. Brachas always come Shabbos. Rak Shabbos. Brachas nothing to do with Yom Tov. It only has to do with Shabbos. Shabbos brings down different opinions. If you have to go back, you said a Kel Kadosh. But in any event, that is all. If you already finished the bracha, if you didn't finish the bracha, you go back to Kel Kadosh and reverse it to Melech HaKadosh. Zayin v'kvarnis boy. It's already been clarified. The Imlomar Zarchenu Mikamocha Avarachim Yichem Uksol v'Sefer Chaim. All the other additions. Emak zero. So you don't go back. This guy comes to see a bracha. Remember before you finish the bracha. And lo shlois kadayin Hashem ya bracha. Meaning you didn't say you said bruchato but not Hashem. Omra Hashem you say it there. Don't Shemar Melech Ozer Moshe Magen bruchato. The niska at that point remember Shlomar Zarchenu. Remember you didn't say Choser Zarchenu Anukim Chaim. Remember Melech Ozer. Repeat again Melech Ozer. You scares Hashem. You mentioned we already said bruchato Hashem. And of course you don't go back. Chaim Kulam. All by all these four. Vosla so he's not allowed to go back. So again, he says, like he said before, he said L'chaim, Now, Lachayim, without Rosh Hashanah, Yesh Be'ev Lo Chol Hashanah. But there's only an issue on Rosh Hashanah. I assume it means all of us says Mechuv, not the rest of the year. Means that here I'm going to say Gondal, Mashkotav, Kosav Zochenu, Kosveinu, Bechatav Kamatz. Lo Yadati Kamen also, but how Chatav Kamatz comes here. Ches, Yesh Lo Hakim Lispar Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippurim, Bekriya. And we'll daven bent over Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. So it says that is bending over the head with the body only. That's what he means by that. I guess it means, I think it's more of the head and the shoulders. But these people do a sichim and go b'sor brachas. They have to go back up straight at the end of brachas. Come Shem Baruch before they say Baruch. The Shmuel says also beginning of a bracha. Because now to bow down at a bracha where Chacham said not to. Svardim, but also nowadays, almost most people say Shir Masamakim between Yishtabach and Yotze Or all says Mitzvah. Came by Arvis Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippurim Achar Shmonesrei David Mizmar Hashem Aratzim Loa. We say at night Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur David Mizmar. Ashkenazim will go Kain. Ashkenazim not such a custom, but nowadays we do. The Kaddish Kevin Leila Leila, we say Leila twice. Be'emim Ula Eila, don't say Leila Ula Eila. Ela Leila Leila. Not above and above, but above. Shoker Raglov Omer Oseh HaShalom. The Yanakar say Oseh HaShalom. Well, sorry, I missed it out before. I messed this up. Oseh, I didn't realize this ever. I don't know why not. He says, when he says Oseh HaShalom, it's not just the Yanakadish. It's at the end of Shemon Esrei, the Yanakar Netzor. Oseh HaShalom Bimromav. I never knew that. Never realized that. Okay, again. Big Kedushim Day in Arukh HaShulchan. Shulchan Ravlov Omer Oseh HaShalom. Chemes of Kashin also in the Kaddish. For me, Shulchan b'kamatz tachat shin shniyah. You say Sheh HaShulchan, yeah, not Sheh HaShilton or whatever. Be'enim ba'ava mikro kodesh. Don't say ba'ava mikro kodesh. Ela zichron shur mikro kodesh. The sage is zichron shur mikro kodesh, but without ava, ain't ava bedin. Okay, there's no love and judgment. For me, Dvarcha Emes, lo Dvarcha Malkeinu Emes. You say Dvarcha Emes and not Dvarcha Malkeinu, Dvarcha Malkeinu Emes. Shea Bar Bracha Mesayim b'Melech Lords. Because anyway, you're going to say Melech Lords at the end. Emes Havakah Gam Kim Melech Mosh Kosu B'Sifyu Gimel. We shall see that Emes and Melech are related in any event. So you say Emes and Melech would be redundant.